Hello everybody and good morning. Welcome to today's 10 a.m. Call the Midwife session here on Facebook. As you know, I will be jumping on and answering stories in Instagram today as well, but I wanted to make sure that I got in here and answered all of your questions in our Call the Midwife session. So as usual, as you're all coming in, it takes a couple of minutes, so I'll just say hello and good morning. We have had a wonderful weekend here in Tamworth. My little girl turned 9 on Saturday, which was super duper exciting. So a lovely day celebrating for Polly. And I remember waking up on Saturday morning and I said to her, and now we were heading to the hospital, and all through the day I was thinking about her birth and her birth experience and sharing that. And I wonder, if I'll still be doing that when I'm an old woman. I imagine I would. So what I love is for you to say hello. Hi, Hannah. Thank you. You've hit it off straight away. Hey, Jessica. Please say good morning. Let me know where you're watching from, either how many weeks pregnant you are, or how old your newborn is. So I put a shout out last week around, super excited to be letting everyone know that we're launching our new online program, which is all around sleep and settle and from 0 to 24 months. And I have to say, I'm kind of overwhelmed with how many of you who signed up for our VIP email list, just saying, yes, hello, hey Veronica. Oh my gosh, your little one's 12 weeks already. I can't believe that, because a lot of our online community, so it's lovely getting to know you all. Hello, I can't keep up. Carly's 1.5 week old. Jessica's watching from Brisbane, currently 16 weeks pregnant. Congrats, Jessica. Sophie, hi Edwina. Sophie here from Sid. I'm now 40 plus 2. Any natural ways to get bub moving? Ob wants to induce me 41 plus 3, but hesitant for induction. Yes, Sophie, I have a blog on that on our website, but just very quickly, there's a few physical things that you can be doing by all means. Gutter walking, so going and walking along. What I mean by gutter walking, I'm just going to stand up and show you, is walking with one leg up the gutter and one down, and that helps, where's my pelvis? That helps to rock bub into the optimal birth position. So try walking along a gutter, turning around and walking back. You can try introducing some curry sage oil, acupuncture, seeing a naturopath, going and having a massage. But Sophie, one of the big things is actually, are you mentally feeling prepared and ready to birth this baby? Is there anything you need to be sharing with your partner or some loved ones, or anything that you're feeling anxious about that you need to address so that you can really truly relax and let that be? And I often find that there's something that's still concerning mums, or a worry that they haven't yet voiced, and when they do, they can then finally relax and prepare for the birth. Sometimes as well, a good rush of oxytocin. So whether that's you having a intimate massage with your partner, a foot rub, whatever you enjoy, if you feel comfortable with some nipple stimulation, by all means, anything that will increase your oxytocin. Other things that will increase your oxytocin are actually just having a big laugh or a big cry. So I always say, like, get a couple of rom-com movies out, or movies that you enjoy that you know will either make you have a big laugh or cry. They're all helpful ways, and again, you've still got a week, so just kind of being patient. I know it's really hard. Donna starts IVF in 2 weeks. Oh, how exciting, Donna. And I know that that's a huge journey for so many of our birth beat mums. So I hope we get to welcome you into our childbirth program before you know it. I really, really hope so very much. Michaela, Tassie, 11 weeks old. Jay, 35 plus 5 in Port Stephens. Hi, Lou from Tamworth, 29 weeks. Saturday must have been the day for parties. Oh, lovely. You had your baby shower. That's awesome. Catherine, 38 weeks pregnant. Hi, Ed. First live back after having Bubba 4 weeks ago. Ended up 40 plus 10, induced with a number of complications during labour and delivery, but otherwise enjoying newborn life. Trying to work out the newborn sleep thing. He doesn't like to play by the rules. And Hannah, such a good segue just to say, sorry, I was saying, but so many of you are coming in and I like to say hello. After last week when I said we're launching our sleep program, and I gave you an opportunity to sign up so that you would be the first to know when the program is going to launch, and I'm super excited to let you know that it's next week. The program will be live and online. I reached out to a few of you and asked, what serves you best? What is the best way for me to be able to give you as much information as possible? And heaps of you loved our choking masterclass. So we've decided to do another sleep masterclass. So next Thursday night, that's often when I'll do my live online classes. We're going to do like a deep dive 45-minute session on newborn sleep. So from newborn sleep up to about the age of 1 or 2. So looking at how do we have a positive sleep environment. So for all the pregnant mums, it's really helpful, and it's information that I wish I had have known. So I'll pop a link just here there so you can come and register for our sleep masterclass. So we're going to go through setting up a really good sleep environment and what that looks like, how to do it. So it's going to be actionable things for you to do after the masterclass. You'll have a checklist that you'll be able to go, yes, I've done that. Yes, I've done that. Yes, I've done that. And it's super important that you know how easy and what little tweaks you can do now that make the world of difference to creating a positive sleep environment for you and for your baby. And again, with sleep, there's no magic bullet, there's no secret. It's about consistency, but having evidence-based information and someone to hold your hand on that journey. So I am super excited to be that person. So please, like the choking masterclass, we will limit the number of people because we'll also do a live Q&A. So if you have questions that you want to ask after I talk about how to set up the sleep environment, that's the first thing, and it's super important. You can do that antenatally. You can even be looking at this if you've got a 6-month-old or an 8-month-old. There's a lot you can be doing about setting up their good sleep environment that can increase their sleep, therefore increase your sleep. The next thing we're going to talk about is routines and rhythms, and my preference of why I call them rhythms rather than routines. And then finally going through the different sleep guides and how they are different and how they change as your baby gets older and grows and meets certain developmental milestones. So I will go through all of that, all the different information that you need to know so that it's not feeling overwhelming for you, because I know even as a midwife how challenging I found it when Theo would not sleep. And I have to say, I've been working with a few of you privately already, and the difference that we have seen in your baby's sleep is just mind-blowing. And the only part of me that feels a little bit sad is that I didn't know this when Theo was a baby, and it really wasn't available to me to be able to watch conveniently like this online. So next Thursday night, I will be diving deep on all things sleep, how to set up your nursery and the proper sleep environment, or if baby's sleeping in your room, how to also understand the different rhythms and routines and what to expect with certain ages, and what those sleep guidelines look like. And we will be sharing lots of cool resources with you, and I cannot wait. That will be our launch date. It's our masterclass. Lots of goodies and lots of specialties all there for you. It's like this happy medium of so excited but also so exhausted because there's been so much work going on behind the scenes to build this course and to make sure that this program is going to be ready and live. So register there for the Sleep Masterclass, and I will send you reminders and let you know, so that it's super important that everybody gets this information. Also, please, 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 like always, share with all your mothers groups. If you're on any mothers groups or blogs, please make sure that you copy that link and share it with any other mum that you think needs to have more sleep. Aman Preet has said, hi Edwina from Melbourne. How you doing, Aman Preet? Feeling very sorry for all our Victorian mamas again. Baby is 4 months. Should I still offer her every 2.5 to 3 hours if she's having formula? Aman Preet, it would be, so 2.5 hours is still, quite regular. Are you doing that through the evening or just through the day? If Bub's having long blocks of sleep overnight, 2.5 hours to 2.5 to 3 hours is still an okay guide. What I want you to think about is what is the feeds in a 24-hour block, because often babies that have a larger block of sleep at night time will feed more regularly during the day so they can be getting their calories in a 24-hour period. But every 2.5 to 3 hours, for 24 hours, I think we could start to extend, particularly if bub is now 4 months old. And I'm going to assume gaining weight, thriving, wet, dirty nappies, all of that. Let me know, Manpreet, and I'll be able to go a little bit deeper in that one. Hello, Kerry from Toronto, Canada, 23 weeks, been taking my iron tablets, but they're giving me some bloated belly. Oh yes, Kerry, some little tips on that. And I know it seems a little bit counterintuitive because you're starting to feel really puffy and bloated, but increase your H2O, so your water and your hydration. Please increase that. A lot of women get very dehydrated and that increases your bloating. So with your iron tablets, also take them with either some fresh orange juice or a vitamin C tablet. When you do that, combining your iron tablet with a vitamin C intake, it actually helps the absorption of the iron, because your bloating is probably also to do with being constipated. So when you start iron tablets, and I know this is like too much information, but this is totally what midwives do, you'll notice that your stool or your poop gets that really dark green and you can feel very constipated. That does start to sort itself out. But increasing water, so drinking heaps more water than what you currently are. Please know that tea, coffee, things like that actually dehydrate you, so that's not a way to hydrate. You need to increase your water. At least kind of 8 to 10 large glasses a day. And I know that can be challenging because where you are, it's very cool at the moment. So just sipping even on warm water, but really increase your water. Look at a few stone fruits and things like that, just to make sure that we're really keeping you regular will make the world of difference, and adding a vitamin C. So that's to everybody who has any issues with their iron or low iron or is feeling fatigued. Do all those tricks and it will absolutely help you. Welcoming you into our online course. So I always forget to say this. That's what I do. So everyone who's new, and hello, I've just launched straight into answering questions, I'm Edwina, I'm a registered midwife, and I teach online birth classes. So everything that you need to prepare to have your best birth, it's all online. You can watch it at any time that suits you or your partner, and you can watch it and re-watch it. It's not around set times or anything like that. We make it so that it's super convenient to everybody. So check out that link below if you need any support around sleep. So we now are going to have our childbirth class, our baby and child first aid class, and our sleep program. So we really are just going to be there to hold your hand from pregnancy all the way through to when Bubba's 2 years old. Carly has asked, oh, hi Joy, 40+3, not long for you. Carly has asked, best techniques for bringing up burps, Bub finding it hard to burp after a bottle, expressed bottle. So I'm just going to grab Junior here for you, Carly. Often as well during the day, baby wearing can be really helpful, because otherwise you might feel like after you've given a feed that you're spending a lot of time trying to help Bub bring up that burp. Now, also, do you feel confident the Bub has a burp to bring up when you're lying them down or when they're resting on you? Do they seem distressed and like they have some gas and like they're trying to bring something up? In the daytime after a feed, baby wearing, so putting Bub on your chest in like a Manduka or an Ergo, or there's lots and lots of brands. It might even just be a like a self-tying, just donged baby with my rings. Any way to be holding Bub in an upright position. Remember, it's important to support them and have their hips. You want them to be able to have them high enough that you can kiss their head. But that way, if they are gassy or burpy, or when you lie them down after a feed, if they're looking distressed, it's a good way for them to be able to bring it up. So Carly, just try that. But really, is Bub distressed after a feed because you're doing EBM? Or are you just thinking that there should be a burp and that there's not a burp yet? Let me know that one. Oh, Carolina, yay! Except I'm gonna not say your last name, because just so you know, that's a public wall. People will be able to see that. People have told me that before, but that's so exciting, yay! Sabil, hi Edwina, to feed baby at 4 or 6 months while breastfeeding. Sorry, so when to feed baby, is it? Come and join us next week for the masterclass, because also we don't just talk about sleep, we actually talk about nutrition and feeding, because that's so closely related. So how often to feed your baby, when to be feeding your baby is all included in our sleep guidelines. Carolina, don't worry, we will be able to take care of you. Come and check out our website, birthbeat.com. That's probably the best place to start. We've got lots of blogs and free resources there for you. Narissa, hey, I'm 32 weeks pregnant and still working and enjoying. When is a good time to stop working? I'm an AIN, only working a couple of days a week. So, Narissa, awesome to have you here, everybody. And AIN is an assistant in nursing, so it's awesome to have more nurses. Narissa, that's such a personal decision, particularly if you're only working a couple of days a week and you still feel comfortable. I always say, you know, it's about when works for you. And also, if you're going to be taking some maternity leave, do you want more maternity leave after the baby arrives, or do you want to enjoy a bit of maternity leave before Bub arrives? Knowing, remember, that there's no guarantee of when Bub is going to be arriving. It could be between 37 and 42 weeks. Personally, for me, I was working full-time as a nurse and midwife. So both my pregnancies actually stopped at 36 weeks. Because I was feeling heavy and uncomfortable. So it's really about kind of making that choice around what works for you. And it is 100% up to you and what feels right for you, and doing, you know, essentially what you feel capable doing. When you're starting to feel tired, heavy, fatigued, your body will let you know when it's time for you to be stopping to work. Hello, not a worry, Sophie. Tegan's just said, hey Ed, Bub is now 5.5 weeks. Hey Ed, 27 plus 5, Hunter Valley, beautiful. There's another link to our sleep masterclass. I feel like that's the best way for me to be able to dive deep and give you a lot of information in what you're going to need in a quick, punchy way, like what we did with the choking masterclass. It will be hosted in our Birthbeat Tribe page. And again, when you just hit that masterclass registration page, everything will be explained. Hey, Georgie here. My little girl Marina is 4 months old and G time goes fast. How likely is it to get pregnant while feeding still and period isn't back? Okay, so Georgie, to answer this question, again, firstly, I need to let everybody know that you can get pregnant before your period returns. I find I meet a lot of mums preparing to have their second baby who are surprised that they were able to get pregnant, because your period can be getting ready to come back and then you can fall pregnant before it actually does. So yes, breastfeeding does decrease your chances of getting pregnant, but it is not 100% form of contraception. Interestingly, there is no 100% form of contraception, well, except abstinence. So if you're not wanting to get pregnant, it is important that you look at another form of contraception as well as conjunction of feeding. But feeding does decrease your chances of getting pregnant because it decreases your chances of starting to ovulate again. That's how it works. So how likely is it to get pregnant while feeding still and period isn't back? So it's less likely, Georgie, but I don't want to be the person that you come messaging in 12 weeks and saying, hey, you told me it's less likely. It is less likely, but still, if you're not wanting to get pregnant at this stage, it is important that you're using another form of contraception as well. Steph, hi Edwina, my 7-week-old has started to sleep longer stretches of around 4.5 hours overnight. I get very engorged overnight. I'm wondering if you would recommend pump overnight or just allow my supply to regulate naturally. I just worry it will decrease my supply, ignoring the engorgement overnight. Awesome question, Steph, and actually something that we also are addressing in our sleep program, because it's around managing when Bub starts to drop asleep overnight. How do you then manage your boobs as well? It's a great thing that you're all getting more sleep, but you also do need to be managing your boobs. So what I would say, if they're really, really uncomfortable, Steph, just a little bit of hand expressing just for comfort. I wouldn't encourage you to pump overnight because again, it's supply and demand. So if you're pumping a full feed, you're going to continue to make milk even though Bub isn't waking for that feed. So I wouldn't encourage you to pump. I'd just hand express for comfort, put some ice packs or some cold packs on them just to try and help with the swelling and the engorgement, and they will start to settle down, I assure you. Usually it only takes a few days if bub is sleeping longer periods, which is a great thing for you, for that engorgement to start to self-regulate. Tegan has said, hey, our baby is 5.5 weeks. Would you believe after your choking? Oh gosh, no. Would you believe after your choking masterclass that night, we had to go to hospital due to baby's breathing. Purchased the first aid program as soon as I woke up that morning. Oh God, Tegan, I hate that, I hate that this is the reality. That's when a lot of people come and buy our course, is that they've had a fright or they've had an experience where they didn't feel like they knew what to do. I had a mother who reached out just a couple of days ago. Her baby choked on something. I think it was food. It wasn't like a toy or anything. And it wasn't a significant choke, but it was just enough for her to go, I had watched your choking masterclass. I didn't purchase the class like I intended to. So many people do intend to, but life gets busy. And she said it was when they had that experience, she was like, oh gosh, quick, I've got to get the course. So I'm glad Bubby's okay. I'm sorry that you had that experience, but on the flip side, I'm really, really happy that you're now going to be able to learn the skills and know what to do if Bub has issues with breathing. Oh, thank you. You legend, Haley. Haley's already started sharing with her friends for the sleep masterclass. Good on you. Hello, Natasha, 27 weeks, horrible cramps in my calves in the morning. Yesterday I had it really bad, rubbed it out, and today I'm still feeling it. Natasha, yes, and this is an awful stage of pregnancy that often happens, and we call it restless legs. What I would say again is just getting a massage tool, and during the evening, massaging your legs before you go to bed will definitely help. Maybe increasing your salt a little bit into your diet. Regular stretching will also help with restless legs. And when you've got the cramps, standing up and walking around will often decrease it as well. I have not had my morning cup of tea, so I'm doing it while I chat to you guys. Hi Shania, I'm from Tamworth, I'm 16 weeks today and I'm pregnant with Bubby number 2. I've recently been put on aspirin tablets because when I had my blood pressure taken I was having an anxiety attack and the doctor said I'm at risk of preeclampsia. Do you think my anxiety attack caused high blood pressure? Look, Shania, to be honest, we refer to this as white coat syndrome, and the interesting thing is I get it as well. I know all the science behind it, but often if I'm getting my blood pressure checked, and I had a period there last year where my blood pressure was quite high, and every time I got it checked, it was a lot higher than when I did it at home, so it was hard to reassure my doctor that it wasn't an issue. Look, with that one, Shania, I would just say monitor it over a couple of days is the biggest thing, and addressing why you're feeling anxious when you're going to the doctor is definitely going to help, and maybe even just popping into the pharmacy, into your local pharmacy, and getting your blood pressure checked there and having it recorded is going to be helpful. Oh, don't be scared, it's an exciting time. Adelaide, hi Edwina from Sydney, baby 6 months, should I wean Bub off night feedings? Also, what is the recommended breastfeeding session takes or as long as Bub needs? Awesome question. And again, Adelaide, we're going to unpack this in our sleep course, so come and join us for our masterclass. There's a link there to come and join us for our free masterclass on all things sleep and feeding, because feeding and sleep is so closely entwined. So around 6 months, and this is what I say to everybody that I've already been supporting around sleep and settle, is it's not a problem if it's not a problem for you. If you're happy to still be feeding Bub during the night at 6 months and it's okay with you, then that is absolutely fine. If you're wanting to look at changing that, or if you're wanting to look at extending the blocks overnight where Bub is feeding, I'm able to help you and support you and show you how to do that. So it's not that it's wrong or right, it's about what works for you and your family. And if you are looking to drop a feed overnight, definitely we're able to give you some techniques to show you how to do that. When you say what is the recommended breastfeeding session, like how long does it take, usually by about 6 months, we would say that Bub is quite an efficient feeder by then, and I'd say about each 10 to 15 minutes would probably be the upper limit. Sometimes Bubs also like to just suck at the breast, so they might not actually be feeding at the breast, but they use being at your breast as a way to soothe themselves. So it's about just addressing, is this Bub soothing themselves, or is Bub actually requiring a feed. Okay, Afshan has said, I had an episiotomy for my first one. Is there a higher chance of tear for my second one? I joined this party quite late. I could walk or exercise as much as I wanted to because of pelvic pain this pregnancy. Just completed 38 weeks. Look, yes. So Afshan, come and have a look at our BirthBeat blogs. There's one where I talk about my experience with perineal massage and using the Epino. And again, it's important that you just understand what you can be doing over the next few weeks to decrease your chances of tearing, but also knowing again that having an episiotomy is definitely not the norm. And we're able to teach you about that in our program. Brianna, hi, my 4-month-old has a bottle and a 1-hour play and then about an hour and 20-minute nap during the day. Are those sleep and awake times okay for her age? Brianna, yes, but I think it's important that you know, again, as Bub is 6 months old, they're going to change again. So it's just important to know all of the sleep and appropriate feed place sleep times for a baby. But again, Brianna, just tune in next Thursday night, register for the link below, because we'll go through more specifically what are the age appropriate ones, and actually having a guideline for you to be able to refer back to. But from memory, that does sound like that sounds appropriate. I'm going to assume Bub's still having 2 day naps and then a quicker nap in the afternoon. She sleeps mostly through the night, just up once for a feed. Yep, that all sounds absolutely normal and like fine, Brianna. And again, with sleep, it's only a problem if it's a problem for you. If you're happy with that, then that's all good. Carolina said, I've read some research that says green tea is harmful while pregnant. What is your thoughts? I don't think it's specifically that it's green tea, but it can be the caffeine in green tea. A lot of people assume that green tea is decaffeinated, and it is not. So it just adds up to your caffeine levels. So it's important you know this one. Becky, I'm 12 weeks pregnant this Friday, and I have constant headache and nausea, dizziness. Becky, a few things to be doing for that is, again, really looking at your hydration, making sure you're talking to your midwife about that dizziness. We want to make sure that we check your blood pressure. In terms of the nausea, trying to increase your rest as much as possible, and eating little and often. So decreasing the volume of your meals, but having smaller meals more frequently will help with your nausea, and hopefully that will start to pass soon. Yes, Becky, there is stuff that you can be taking, and again, your midwife will be able to prescribe that, or your GP will be able to prescribe that, whoever's looking after you, and definitely look at little amounts of food often, and having something when you first wake up. So I encourage you just to have like a little Tupperware container of Saos or saladas or dry crackers next to your bed, and before you get up for the day, eating a couple of those before you start your day will definitely make the world of difference. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I've already been going on half an hour. Please remember, we've had so many sleep questions and so many DMs about sleep. I want you to have the gift of sleep. So join me next Thursday night. We're going to do a full live masterclass on how to set up the best sleep environment, which is going to increase the amount of time that Bub sleeps. So the more sleep that you get, that is super important. Understanding normal routines or rhythms, and why I like to call it rhythms rather than routines, and knowing what sleep guides you need to be following in terms of how long Bub should be awake for before you start to prepare to put Bub back to sleep. What that does, and having that guide and being able to have it available to you all the time as Bub gets older as well, and when the guides change, is it prevents an undertied or an overtied baby, because that is definitely when we see either it's harder for Bubs to go to sleep or they start catnapping. So that's definitely something that we want to address. So join us here, DM me if you've got any questions. For all those beautiful mums who have just found out that they're pregnant or they're early in their pregnancy, congratulations. And I really hope that we can have you come and join our online childbirth education program. It will make the world of difference to your labor and birth experience, because you'll know what to expect, and it removes a lot of the fear and therefore makes it a faster, more enjoyable, less painful labor, which is what we all should have and be entitled to. Share as well that masterclass link far and wide. Let's see how many parents we can help and support get more sleep once their babies have arrived. All right, team, I will talk to you all soon. I will answer as many stories as I can in Instagram stories as well. One of the questions that I saw just quickly that came through earlier was, how many weeks do I think Meghan and Harry are? And I was like, this is right up my alley. I'm a tragic royalist. I reckon she's probably a bit further on than what we think. So I reckon she's likely between 16 and 20 weeks because she's lying flat on her back and she's still got a belly. But that's just my thought. I'm going to say about 20 weeks, and particularly because they've had some pregnancy loss. They had that miscarriage. Often people are a little bit more cautious or a little bit slower to announce. So I'm going to say about 20 weeks is my guess. All right, let's talk soon. Bye.